Welcome to the quarterback.
Hey, hi. Yeah, sports.
He's got mustache. He tries with the mustache.
I'm gonna shave.
Good man. Welcome to the first episode of March. We're excited to have it here. Love March. AJ, real quick, is it spring or is it winter time?
Who cares?
Yeah, I know, because I left for work this morning and it was springtime, and then I left work and it was the middle of a blizzard, so it was great. I love weather.
You should be a weatherman.
I know, right?
No, you shouldn't, because you suck.
Oh,
you suck.
That crushed my hopes. Let's kick off with a lot of stuff happening in the NFL today. It's probably what we're mostly going to talk about.
Because it's what we always talk about, which is football, because we don't care about other sports.
Hike! Yeah, the center doesn't get to say that. That'd be fun.
Hike.
That'd be fun. Is it against the rules for the center to shout that just to draw people off sides?
Well, everybody on the offense will jump off sides too, so yes.
Yeah. Excellent. Moving on to our next big topic is LeVeon Bell. It's probably the big talk of the NFL right now because Steelers signed him to a franchise tag once again, kind of expected, but Lev Bell.
Well, they placed the franchise tag on him. He didn't sign it.
Okay, so they placed a franchise tag. He didn't sign it. Lev Bell contemplated retiring.
Who calls him Lev Bell?
LeVeon Bell.
Okay, that makes more sense.
The Michigan State running back.
Okay.
Has contemplated retirement if he did not get a deal that he was seeking. AJ, where's Lev Bell? What's Lev Bell doing this season and for the rest of his future?
Well, I think he's going to get a contract done this offseason. They're going to get one done before the regular season starts. He's probably going to hold out through training camp and the preseason like he did last year and then show up week one with a new contract. If they don't give him a new contract, he may very well retire because he knows he's worth, people say that he's a running back and he needs to just take his millions and be done with it. But he's in a different tier of running back because he doesn't abuse his body by taking tons and tons of hits like these downhill runners do. He catches the ball. He can pass block on third down. He gets everything that you need done within the game, and he's an important piece of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and for them not to pay him is a shame. I
agree. I mean, they got a lot of money tied. Well, not a lot of money tied up in AB and money tied up in Ben Roethlisberger, so it'll be tough to get like the money that Le'Veon Bell deserves. But
I don't see how he's only got 5 good years left in the NFL, right?
Right.
He's going to be 30.
I don't see how he's not going to be a Steeler. It's just what I'm saying.
Well, according to him, he's either going to be playing under a long-term contract or he's going to retire. So they have something to try to figure out here shortly.
And do you really think a long-term contract will be done by week 1 next season?
I do. They don't have an option because he'll sit out the regular season. He's not scared to do that. He sat out the whole preseason.
That's true. And I could see him. I very well see him doing that again. Obviously, I think you do as well. So it'd be a shame for the Steelers to not re-sign him, but it'd be even better if the Bengals were to give him a call. Moving on to the next topic of choice.
They've already got 12 running backs, and they all suck.
Well, let's just get a 13th and put him to the top of the depth chart. I think that's pretty simple.
You just drafted Joe Mixon last year, and you got Giovanni Bernard and Jeremy Hill. What do you
Jeremy Hill is leaving. He is going testing the free agency.
Okay.
Moving on, Michael Bennett from the Seahawks was traded to the Eagles today. The Eagles sent a 5th round, I believe, was it, for Michael Bennett?
Yep, and they got a 7th round and some wide receiver I've never heard of.
Good move for the Michael Bennett and the Eagles?
It's a good move for the Eagles. It's a good move for the Eagles, but it's also not a good move for the Eagles, in my opinion, because that means that one of their talented defensive people, I think it's Brandon Graham, is going to be leaving in free agency then. And they're going to replace him with Michael Bennett.
Huh.
I don't know. Believe so. One of them's up. Hold on.
Well, Bennett's a defensive end, and Graham's a tackle.
Graham's a defensive end, Brandon Graham.
Oh, he is a defensive end. That's right. So you think? Right. Well, I mean, we both agree. I think Michael Bennett will be starting in Philadelphia.
It's Nigel Bradham that they're expected to lose, who's a big linebacker for him, not Brandon, whoever I said.
Oh, I mean, defensive. Let's face it, defensive line is kind of a position that you can rotate in and out. So you can't have one too many defensive linemen. So
yeah, but you can if you're paying them all.
That's true. But isn't Brandon Graham still under a rookie contract, wasn't he?
No, he's 29 years old. So
well, it's a good move there. The Seahawks defense, are they just like blowing up their entire defense?
I think they are.
Because the word is that Richard Sherman's going to be the next one out the door.
Yep. I think he's going to retire, actually.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
I was going to say he's got one more year on his deal, so it's not like they'd either trade him. But you think he's going to retire?
I do. He had an Achilles injury, and if you know anything about tearing your Achilles, it's really hard to come back from and be an explosive athlete in general. And playing defensive back, you need to rely on the heels of your feet and your toes to move quickly from side to side, and he's not going to be able to do that as well as he could before, and I wouldn't blame him for leaving. I mean, Dan Marino tore his Achilles towards the end of his career, and could – he didn't have that great of a career after that and ended up retiring because of that injury 2.5 years later. So, and he played quarterback and stood there the whole time. So,
well, the quarterbacks don't just stand there the entire time.
I don't know if you've ever seen Dan Marino, but he did not move. He was like a statue.
To another team that's kind of blowing up their defense was the Rams. A little breaking news. About a couple hours ago, they traded linebacker Alec Ogletree.
I wouldn't say blowing up their defense.
Well, yeah, because I mean they traded for Marcus Peters, so they got Marcus Peters, but they did trade. They traded Quinn to the Dolphins, and now they're sending a defensive captain of theirs to the Giants for two.
Alec Ogletree.
Alec Ogletree. Yeah, I mean he's a captain.
Yeah. So
that's not blowing up a defense. I mean, yeah, he struggled against the run this year, but I mean, he's
but they've already got good outside linebackers, and they got Mark Barron in the middle, who is a converted safety from Alabama. And they've also still got Aaron Donald, who they put a ton of money into. But you got to realize they signed Robert Quinn to a long-term deal and paid him a hefty amount. Alec Ogletree was a guy who just signed a contract extension last year and is supposed to make $33 million over the first 3 years of that contract. So he's still got $22 million to make this year and next year. So to me, those moves look more like we're upgrading our defense by dumping the money that we have tied up with players that have been injured, even though they've been good when they've been healthy, but they were also healthy when they were 3 years younger. So
I agree. I mean, it is a money dump, that's for sure.
Yeah, but they're also they signed Aaron Donald to a $100 million contract or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and
so
they also took on Marcus Peters. They franchise tagged LaMarcus Joyner, who's another good corner safety person who was their number one last year. So they're actually, people think they're tearing their defense apart. They're actually making it better. So by getting rid of the money and bringing in younger players that better fit a 3-4 defensive scheme that Wade Phillips wants to run.
Were these all contracts that were signed under previous GM?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So makes sense. Not getting rid of, but smartfully, because they don't know what 2 draft picks they got yet, but they did get 2 draft picks for the trade today of Alec Ogletree. Free agency starts soon. Are you excited for that?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, a week from today.
League year at 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Hopefully, with the league year starting at 4 o'clock, the JV report will be breaking news all day through the Quarterback Center Exchange.
I doubt
from
it.
4 o'clock on. Yeah, I know. But that gives us one more. That kind of gives us. I think it gives us one more week to play the "Where's Kirk Cousins going" game, because I think he's going to sign day one.
Yeah, probably.
Where's he going?
Well, even though I saw the report that he's going to either go to Minnesota or the Jets, I think he's going to end up playing for the Broncos.
You think the Broncos?
Yeah.
Just an overall better fit?
No, just John Elway can't draft a quarterback. He's not good at drafting talent. He's good at recruiting talent in free agency, and that's how he's going to win his Super Bowls is by recruiting a free agent quarterback like Kirk Cousins. Because, I mean, he picked Paxton Lynch, which is still baffling to this day. Just looking at his mustache makes me know that he sucks at football, so.
There's the AJ Zalewski mustache talking.
He couldn't even beat out Trevor Siemian. He sucks.
I'm still buying that Kirk Cousins is going to be in Minnesota. If you clear an entire roster, you clear an entire quarterback depth chart of quarterbacks away, that's a pretty good recruitment. I think Kirk Cousins ends up in Minnesota. And
yeah, but I mean, the only people they were considering keeping is Case Keenum and Teddy Bridgewater. Sam Bradford was already out the door before the season ended.
No. We won't. No. That doesn't work well with the recruiting pitch.
I'm just saying. I think if they don't get Kirk Cousins, Teddy Bridgewater will be back and will be the starting quarterback for the Vikings for the next 10 years.
Why would you not re-sign Case Keenum along the way? Do you just play along with the Kirk Cousins lottery?
Because if you think Kirk Cousins is better than Case Keenum, then you want to get Kirk Cousins, right? Why would you pay Case Keenum? He had one good year. He's not been consistent his whole career.
And another team could
and he's 30 years old.
And a team that's struggling, like the Cleveland Browns, could see that 1 year and just kind of sneak under the radar and take up that.
And that's why they're the Browns and they suck.
So AJ's calling it. A week from today, Kirk Cousins will be in Denver. I'm saying Minnesota. Want to know what you guys think? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think where Kirk Cousins ends up. Assuming Kirk Cousins goes to either Denver or Minnesota, where's our boy Teddy Bridgewater?
I really wish I could say that he was going to end up in Miami and they would release Ryan Tannehill, but that'll never happen. But if I was the GM or Adam Gase, that's the first move I would make is I was trade Ryan Tannehill to whoever the hell wants him for an 18th round draft pick. I don't even care what I get. And I would pick up Teddy Bridgewater because Teddy Bridgewater is the real deal. People don't understand that, he got hurt a year ago or almost 2 years ago. He got hurt. He tore his entire knee apart. And, that was only his third year in the NFL. And he played well before that without a lot of talent on the offense around him. He got him to the playoffs his second season, and he's a legitimate – I think he would be – if he never got hurt, he would be a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL right now for the Vikings, and they still would have had the same result that they had right this year. Well,
hell, I mean, if I never sprained my ankle my sophomore year, I'd be a legitimate NFL starting quarterback right now, I would think.
God. 6,000 pounds earlier, and maybe you shaved 2.5 seconds off that 40 time, yeah. You can throw the ball more than 10 yards, then maybe, you could get there.
I would agree that Teddy Bridgewater was a good quarterback before his injury. I am concerned about coming back from an injury.
What do you know about football? What do you know about evaluating quarterbacks?
I know that they got to throw the football. They got to be accurate. They can't just be a rocket arm like Josh Allen, who is supposedly going to be in top round pick, but no, he does. He's got a rocket arm, so he's going to be great.
He sucks. I can't stand the people that say he should be a starting quarterback. Lamar Jackson should play receiver because he's black. Give me a break.
That's not the case.
It is the case. Everybody on ESPN, Bill Polian, I was the GM of the year in 1926, and I really think Lamar Jackson should play freaking receiver because he's black and he runs fast. Get the hell out of here with that. Nobody cares what you think, Bill Polian. Go back in your hole.
Done?
Yes.
Because guess what? Bill Polian's not in the NFL, so what his say matters. What happens is that
he's on ESPN, so you got to hear about it all the time.
ESPN sucks.
Yes,
have we not determined that?
Well, you're yelling.
ESPN sucks.
Okay.
Scouts at the actual NFL Combine had said, hey, would you consider trying out for wide receiver? And Lamar Jackson said no.
Because he's smart.
Good. Hey, I'm all for it. Good for him. Most people would say to get any chance in the NFL, you'd try out what you can. But Lamar Jackson, he's going to be a late first round quarterback taken.
That's fine. What's wrong with that?
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong.
You know what that means? That means the Vikings could not get a quarterback in free agency and end up drafting Lamar Jackson and putting him on that team. Are you kidding me? With Dalvin Cook in that defense and Adam Thielen and Randolph and freaking the dude that made the catch. What the heck's his name? Stephon Diggs. Put him on that team. Give me a break, dude. Come on. That's a better deal than getting Kirk Cousins.
All I'm saying is it was a question that was asked at the draft, at the combine. He's like, "Hey, would you consider doing these wide receiver things?" And he said no.
Hell no.
Which I'm perfectly fine with.
You dang right.
I don't know how I feel about him refusing to run the 40 because he didn't run the 40 because they said he'd just be evaluated as a wide receiver more. Kind of torn about that. I think you run the 40 no matter what.
Why? They know he's fast. He doesn't have to run a 40.
Fast.
He's as quick as Michael Vick. He's got a stronger arm than Michael Vick, and he's as quick as Michael Vick.
And I'm sure Michael Vick was asked to try out at wide receiver or some sort of specialty position.
He probably was. I don't know.
And that's what I'm saying. There's no point in like getting all fussy about this.
Well, it's fussy because all these people are saying that he can't play quarterback, but because Josh Allen's white, 250 pounds and 7 feet tall, and he's got a rocket arm that he can't complete a 5-yard out, that he's got all the potential in the world. The guy sucks.
Yeah, Josh Allen, I don't think he's going to be a good quarterback.
He sucks.
Speaking, let's get away from the quarterbacks for a little bit. Who impressed you the most at the NFL Combine? Did you watch it much?
Obviously, Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley. Browns, you're foolish if you don't take them number one. I don't care what you need. You take the best player in the draft when you're number one. Who's going number one overall to the Browns?
Josh Allen.
Do you think the latest mock drafts have Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold sucks too.
I agree.
He just throws a bunch of interceptions. I don't understand what it is with these NFL guys and these white quarterbacks that are 6 feet tall, have long hair, and can't throw an out route. I don't understand it.
Why does everything got to be? It's like, oh, it's this white guy. Is it like the tradition of the NFL? You have to be a white guy?
Well, you don't have to be. There's plenty of black quarterbacks. But, I mean, look at what Deshaun Watson did this year as a rookie. All I'm saying is if you put Lamar Jackson at Clemson.
Hurt because he focuses on the rush.
He got hurt because his left tackle can't block. And it was in practice.
Was in practice, also true. I think Deshaun Watson's going to be good. I think he's going to be really good when he comes out.
Right, but what I'm saying is look at what Deshaun Watson did. Lamar Jackson is a bigger, faster, stronger, can throw the ball farther, more accurately quarterback than Deshaun Watson is.
But
he's better. Lamar Jackson's better than Patrick Mahomes, who got drafted by the Chiefs right after Deshaun Watson did last year in the middle of the first round. He's better than Ryan Tannehill. I'd take him in Miami.
I'd take him over Andy Dalton. I'm ready to cut the Red Rocket.
You should have cut him a long time ago. He sucks.
But hey, we're gonna let A.J. McCarron just walk away in free agency. Where's A.J. McCarron ended up?
You know, that's funny because if Kirk Cousins leaves, if Kirk Cousins doesn't go to Minnesota, I think it's going to be either A.J. McCarron or Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota as a bridge quarterback.
What do you mean as a bridge?
Like their plan is to keep him around for 3 to 5 years and try to figure out what they're going to do 5 to 10 years down the road at quarterback.
So you're going to say make Bridgewater the bridge quarterback.
Puns.
I think McCarron's going to end up in Cleveland still somehow. The trade was botched. I think he's going to end up in Cleveland. They're going to throw him money.
That's possible.
Do you have any closing thoughts? Do you have any arguments you want to make today?
No, I already said what I needed to say about Bill Polian because he sucks.
Well, we'll go ahead and bleep that out.
Do you have the tools to do that?
Beep. Yeah, there you go. See, we got him in now. New to the Quarterback Center Exchange.
Sound effects.
Well, Bill Polian sucks. All of ESPN sucks. They suck.
Except for Dan Le Batard. Those guys are great.
Meh. I'm more of a Poppy fan than Dan Le Batard.
You don't know anything about the show.
I do like Dan Le Batard. I barely watch it. I barely watch ESPN at all, but
I listen to the show every day in the car during lunch hour, so. Much
as I hate to admit it, I've gone over to Barstool and I listen to Part of My Take all the time. They get some good interviews on there. Like they had Joe Buck on today. It was good.
You don't like Joe Buck?
Yeah, but I'm starting to like. It's not that I hate him. I just don't like him.
It's not that I hate him. I just don't like him. You've been talking about how you want to murder his entire family for the last 15 years.
All of that is falsified information.
That is not false.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Joe Buck's doing the World Series again. Lottie freaking da.
Yeah, okay.
I had to hear you say that. Oh, Joe Buck's doing the Fox game at 4 o'clock on Sunday.
I said I hate Joe Buck. I never said I wanted to murder his family. The man just had twin babies. We're happy for you, Joe Buck. Congratulations. 2 happy, healthy twin baby boys.
You, Joe Buck. He hates you.
Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a subscribe. We'll catch you all next week.
You suck.
Who, Joe Buck or me?
You.
All right, that's fair. Bye-bye.